focus on the client. So all the providers are kind of care team members that wrap around the client, wrap around the services. And so a lot of people use these buzzwords, wrap around services, things like that, but this is actually being assessed on a holistic level. So it's different because it's working, and because we work so well together as a community, and we, answer each other's, calls for help, and we work within a system that is a collaborative case management system that assesses these things. So right now we have 111 families enrolled in the 100 Families Initiative, and that we launched in February, and there's 306 children that those families represent. The majority of those are non-custodial cases, so there's about 62. It's usually about evenly split, and that continues to be it. Does that add up right? I think so. Yes. Anyway, there's 62 non-custodial cases, which means the children are in foster care, but the parents are working hard to reunite their family. 49 are protective services cases, which means that the family has the children in their home still, but DHS and the courts have said that they need extra help. And so we're providing them that extra help in both cases. So these are our clients at intake. We assess across about 15 different assessment areas, but these are 6 of them that we kind of zoom in on every month. And you can see the 1 to 5 in each area. So 1 is crisis, right? Most of us have never been a 1 in any of these areas. 1 in housing is homeless, literally homeless. 1 in transportation is we have no one to take us anywhere. We don't have any dependable transportation. Employment, a 1 is no income from any source. They are not employed, they don't have disability, no income. And then, of course, food crisis is they don't have food stamps, they don't have income, either one, to buy food. Recovery is they're actively using. So you can see that crisis is really, really bad. So when they're at a 1, they're in a pretty bad shape. And then the 4, that light pink right here, is stable. And then the lightest pink is thriving. So we're trying to move people from crisis to stable, and then ultimately to thriving, which is our crisis to career motto. These are clients as of November 30th, where they were at. So we did move down the crisis in transportation because we give them bus passes, or maybe a monthly bus pass, something like that. But they're still not stable. They don't have they don't have something that's reliable all the time. Once we stop helping, what are they going to do? That kind of thing. And then you can see in housing and food, of course, food, something that you can solve relatively quickly, while the other areas take more time. So I'm going to zoom in kind of on what has happened with employment, since this is an employment panel we're going to have today. So at the beginning, you'll see that 45% had no income from any source. We moved that to 15% by November 30th. That's really good. That's a huge move. But a lot of those are moving into, part-time employment. So you'll see they may move forward, but not all the way to stability. So stability is that 26%. So at intake, 26% had what we would consider a stable job. They're getting, full-time hours, probably minimum wage, but at least it's not just part-time. We were able to move that to 50% were in stable employment. So, but the gap is still there, right? That means 43% of our clients as of November 30th that did not have a stable full-time job. And what we really want is this thriving number to go up. So this is what our panel is about today, because we have a hard time. We can get people, you can see how we've moved people towards stability, and we're being successful at getting them jobs, but this thriving number, so having a good job, a job that will support their family with a living wage is much, much harder. So you went from 2% to 7%. So what we're trying to do is figure out a way how we can move people, number one, towards more stable first jobs, and then number two, the ultimate goal is to move them into these living wage jobs where they can support their families, and we do have those successes, and we're really excited about those, but we need to continue to work on that. Transportation is another thing we're going to hit today, and I'm so excited that we have Ken Savage here with the Fort Smith Transit. He's been working hard on this issue. Even though we're handing out, some bus passes and things like that, it does not always eliminate the problem. And the problem can exist because a bus pass, doesn't, work during their work times or whatever it may be. But it's a very, very important issue related to employment. We got to be able to get people to their job, get them to their to be able to drop off their kids at childcare or whatever it may be. So, if the panel will go ahead and come forward, that Felicia, Mercy. If you we're asked to be on Toby. Then we'll go ahead and get started on. Do y'all have any questions about the 100 Families Initiative so far?
Did you bring some notes?
While we get them together.
Are all of these families Sebastian?
There is Sebastian and Crawford numbers in there. We have, it's not just Restore Hope doing this. That's what I want to focus on that this is a collaborative effort. And we do have now tracking prevention cases, although they're a small number. I'll show them to you really quickly. We do have 16 families representing 43 children that are preventative. So that means that they do not have a DHS case at all, and we're trying to prevent a case from happening. So, and we're having, similar results. People are moving towards stability, but there's still that 20% right there is stable, by the way. So we still want to make sure that people are getting full-time jobs and moving them towards really good opportunities. So. Miles?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, what's up?
here.